I'm back! Hi guys, I'm back from my hiatus. So I took a break from YouTube because I felt like I got trapped in this sort of space where I was pushing myself to create content on YouTube just because I was unconsciously attaching my worth to how much content I was creating. I was finding myself getting caught up in this old way of doing where I'm worthy if I am doing something. And in my case, the doing was creating content on YouTube or creating designs on Instagram. And if I'm not doing, then I'm basically a loser. So that was a very good sign for me to consciously plug out and recenter myself and be kind and gentle and accepting towards myself, regardless of what I was doing or not doing. So that worked out really well because we're in the new year. Happy New Year. There is so much newness here. So you can see my hair is new and I'm loving it. I designed a new intro for this channel and I had so much fun doing it. Honestly, after a very long time, I felt like none of it felt like work. I was just literally having fun. So I hope you like that. I love it. So in the spirit of newness, I thought it would be nice for me to come back from this hiatus with a short introduction of who I am and why I created this channel and what this channel is about, what this space is about. And if you have been watching my videos or if you're new here, then what can you expect? What am I interested in and what am I expressing and how is this evolving, like all of this. I'm going to do something. In all my previous videos, I have done this off camera, but I'm going to start doing this on camera because why not? So before I start speaking and talking, I want to set a little intention, and the intention I'm setting is that whatever I say, whatever comes through me, I set the intention for it to be grace. The universe communicate through me, and whatever is being expressed here, may it be for the highest good of all. All right, let's do this. So, my name is Anam. I'm from Pakistan, but I live in England. I am a graphic designer, visual communication designer, creative designer, all of that. Hence why I do a lot of designs for this channel and on my Instagram. I started creating content here on YouTube about 9 months ago. And the reason is that I was really last year, 2019, was a very, very consciousness shifting year. And I'm going to talk about that in detail in another video. But I was really just pumped with so many ideas. I was so clear and so electrifyingly inspired. And I said that in my very first video, that I felt like I was being called to share my voice here on the internet and to speak my truth and use this as a medium to heal. Oh, touch the mic. As a medium to heal my voice, my truth, my throat chakra, and to inspire others and to support others, to encourage myself to encourage others, to participate in the evolution of human consciousness. It honestly felt like the universe nudged me in this direction, and I felt like I was being called. And this was also to heal my creative energy, to heal my creative spark, and to overcome my anxieties and fears around speaking my mind honestly and truthfully. And in doing so, inspiring others to do the same and step into their massive power. And this journey of the past 9 months has been so deeply interesting. It hasn't been a smooth ride at all. There have been so many ups and downs. Hence, I have not been very regular here, because what I was feeling that my priority is to heal myself. And honestly, this platform or the experiences help to do so, because as I mentioned, that I did not consciously see that, but when I stepped back and plugged out, I realized that a conditioned version of me, like the egoic version of me, was identifying my worth with how much I was creating on YouTube. So I had to watch that and just step back and watch it and let it kind of diminish. So it's all been good. Everything is perfect. Everything is amazing. So in terms of what I am interested in, bear with me, this might get a little bit deep. I am deeply interested in the universe. Just all of it, like all of it. The planets, our solar system, the stars, the galaxies, us human beings, animals, all lives, all plants, all of it. God, divine consciousness, spirit consciousness, like all of it, like whatever this is, like whatever this is, like all of this, what is this? That's what I'm interested in. Like, I want to explore more of why I'm here, who I am, how am I here, how did I get here, and what is happening here, like what is happening on this planet, how did it come into existence, not just scientifically, we know the Big Bang and all of that, but there is so much depth. There is so much depth, and I'm really interested in exploring that depth. My purpose, our purpose, humanity's purpose. Like, there's so much going on that you can tap into energetically, but we have been trained, and conditioned and educated in a very limited perspective of us. We get born and we die, and it's point A to point B, and that's it. Like, that's not even 0.1% of it, and not that this 0.1% is not special or extraordinary, because it is, but it's so little of who we are. So I'm really interested in speaking more about it. And, I've been doing a lot of self-reflection and introspection over the last year. Yeah, so I'm interested in the nature of this reality. Like, what is this reality? How are we experiencing it? We know something about consciousness, and the only thing we know about consciousness is that it is deeply mysterious. What is the mystery behind it? Like, how are we experiencing this? Interested in the soul, we know that there is an element of the soul or energy or electricity. There is some sort of power that is being pumped into our human bodies. And yeah, you can call it soul and, spirit, and these are labels, but what is that? What is the essence of the soul? Where does it come from? And how did it get into this body? And how is it having this experience of life? Then I'm interested in other life forms. We have been hearing about angels and spirits or other beings, light beings, like aliens. Like, we can't be the only life in the universe. And I just want to explore what else is out there. I'm also interested in spiritual awakening, self-realization, stuff that has happened a lot in the past with teachers, with gurus, with prophets, like how to consciously, spiritually evolve. And when I use the word spiritual, in my understanding, in my vocabulary, it encompasses everything, like all of it. Any practice, any experience can be spiritual, because it is a level of awareness, a level of focus, attention, a level of perspective, in a level of perspective that you're kind of pulling from another dimension that you can bring to anything you're doing. Like, even filming this video is a spiritual experience, because all you really need is to have that awareness that there is something deeper inside you. You're more than just a human body, or you're more than just a soul who's having just this one life experience. So yeah, usually when you say spirituality, it's almost like, a separate identity. It's almost like a separate box, like a separate compartment. Oh, that's spiritual. You put it under that hierarchy. But really, in my understanding, spirituality is like everything. It's a giant umbrella. It's like that's covering everything, and it sounds big, but it's really just here. It's for you, spirituality is your level of awareness that with which you experience this life. So I'm interested in spiritual evolution. Like, we started, as ancient humans, cave dwellers. How did we get from there to where we are now, and where are we headed? Like, what is this momentum of spiritual evolution, and how can we all tap into that consciously and intentionally? I'm also interested in energy, because energy is all there is. So really interested in investigating more of how to manipulate energy for healing, for love, for compassion, for connection, for oneness, which brings me to my next interest in this umbrella. I'm interested in oneness. Like, I'm interested in unity consciousness. We come from one source, and we're all split up here as individual beings, but under everything, at the base of everything, we're all one. We are all just reflections of one another. So I'm interested in exploring that further. I'm also interested in intuition, and I've learned this year that intuition is so powerful. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. And it's the gut feelings that you have. It's the inner wisdom that everyone possesses. Everyone. It's not exclusive to some people. All of us have an inner guidance compass, an inner guidance system, intuition, which is coming from the wiser consciousness, from the wiser part of you, from the higher self. And you're constantly downloading information. You're constantly downloading guidance and suggestions and advice and help and comfort. And just like any other muscle, intuition needs to be developed. It needs to be like a plant. It needs to be watered. It needs to be taken care of. I'm also interested in the human mind, and that is such a fascinating area to observe and to study and to just watch and learn about, because the human mind is really, really like complex. And especially today in our modern society, it is so important for all of us to study our mental patterns, to study how our mind is creating our sense of identity and what stories it is telling us that we are believing on autopilot and deriving our sense of self from it. But yeah, I'm deeply, deeply interested in the human psyche and all of it. Like, it seems that majority of us are we're not really living our full potential lives. There seems to be a disconnect. There seems to be some sort of vacuum, some sort of missing, like we're missing something. We're missing life almost. There's the zest for life that is our natural state of being seems to have just gone lost somewhere in majority of us. And from my understanding, it has so much to do with the human mind. Not that the human mind is our enemy. It's not. It's a part of us. It's just we have trained it to go in a particular direction too much. And we kind of need to untrain it and bring it back into alignment with our body, with our spirit, soul, heart, with our energies in alignment. That's what we really need to do. And in my understanding, that is so sacred. And that is the spiritual evolution that is much needed in modern society. We've spoken about this in the past, how we need to We're currently in a mind-based society, but we need to anchor our source of life, our generator of life into our heart, because that's not sustainable. It's not sustainable, and that's why there is so much fears and anxiety and depression and just unworthiness and that same, agitation, the discomfort that we're missing something, is because living from our minds on autopilot is not sustainable for humanity. So collectively, we need to bring more and more conscious effort into operating from our hearts, from the wiser part, from compassion, from that part that understands that we come from one source. So ultimately, we're all one, and love and understanding and compassion and empathy and creativity and all these things will follow. But the more we shift that focus and anchor more and more of our energy, of our light into our hearts. So yeah, and I know these things may not be everyone's interests, but I think it would be unfair for me to not speak about them just because they're not mainstream. I just feel like I'm on a deep quest, and it feels like I have been on this quest forever. Like when I try to tap into that, what is forever, I sense no time. This is a dimension where there is no time, but I feel like I've been on some sort of quest, like some sort of meaning, union, love, connection, that some sort of adventure for a very, very, very long time. Again, I cannot quantify what long time means. It just feels like I have been searching for something for a very long time, and I'm finally catching glimpses of what I've been searching for. What have I been searching for? I don't know. I don't know what I'm searching for. I just know that I am, and I just know that I'm finally beginning to understand that whatever I've been searching for, whatever that is in near sight. Like I can catch glimpses of it, and that feeling feels like home. That's the best way I can explain it. Like I've been running, and I have been tumbling, and I have been walking, and I've been dragging myself, but finally I'm like, yes, I've done it, or I'm doing it. Like it feels so right. It feels so right. And the word right is also a word that I've used a lot in this past year, because things just feel right. They feel like they're falling into place. And me being here on YouTube, talking about my experiences, is part of that journey. It's part of that moving in that direction of home. And honestly, ironically, how I found myself here on the internet, on YouTube, starting a channel, talking about these things which are pretty much esoteric right now, is by plugging out of the internet, by really plugging out of this, our reality, which is so chaotic, to plugging out of, the hustle and the grind and the doing, always just doing. The 9 to 5, the 9 to 6, 40-hour work week, I plugged out of that consciously, and I was almost like resetting myself that I'm going to start new. I'm going to build a new momentum, and in order to start new, in order to move in another direction, I had to stop, like really slow down and come to a stop, take inventory of what was going on, because we're just so busy watching TV, listening to music, listening to podcasts, exercising, then at work, and we always have these goals that we're working towards, and we always have these things we want to achieve. Like we rarely just stop to take a breath and see what even is going on. Who am I? What am I doing? What are my passions? Like, what do I wish to achieve? What do I wish to feel? So really just plugging out of this chaos and going inwards in stillness, in calmness, and just checking in with myself. That's all essentially what I did, was to just check in what was happening, and just as a result having my mind like blown away, like just blown away. It feels like that I had been on some drug my entire life, and finally that drug is wearing off and I am coming into my senses of my real self, like finally beginning to feel like my real self. And yeah, this is such an exciting time on planet Earth, and I know this may not feel like it, but trust in your higher power, trust in the system of the universe, the energy that exploded into this precise galaxies and solar system, and everything is so precise. That energy, trust in that energy, and trust that you're part of that energy, you're not separate from it. And don't be a slave to fear. All the stuff that we are seeing on Earth, the wars, the violence, it's a manifestation of fear that is so deeply rooted in the collective human psyche. So the more you bring trust and faith and surrender into your individual energy, the more it will affect the collective society. More and more beautiful human beings are awakening to their infinite selves, realizing that they're more than just human beings, that their souls are so powerful, that they're part of this supreme consciousness, this system of such incredible intelligence that they're part of. We are waking up to this reality that we are connected to something much, much bigger, and we are connected to so much love and so much creativity, so much abundance, so much fun. You know, when you were a child and you were, even if you don't remember yourself, but when we see children, they're so excited and enamored of everything. They easily get excited by everything. That is the energy of the universe, and that is the energy that the universe is asking us to embody and to own. You don't have to get it outside from somewhere. It already exists within each of us. And when we honor this connection with the universe, like there is an energy that exploded into the Big Bang, we are not separate from that energy. We are connected to the universe. We are part of the universe. All of us collectively are the universe. When we honor this connection, we bring in more depth to our life. Moving on, I'm also very much interested in how I can live on planet Earth more consciously and more intentionally, where my actions, where my purchases, where whatever I'm doing in my life are more aligned with the health of the planet. So each and every day being more and more environmentally woke. I'm also interested in normal things. I love art and design and creativity. I love beauty and fashion. I love music and dancing. I love plant-based food. You guys know that. I love traveling. I love nature. I mean, this is why we are here. We are here on Earth to enjoy these physical experiences, to enjoy this physical reality, but not lose perspective of where we come from. We are a composition of energy, like a powerful composition of atoms, molecules, kind of sealed in this body, so we can have a physical experience and we can enjoy it and live it fully. And it's time for humanity to wake up to this reality, to this dimension of energy. Like, we collectively need to realize that we are way, way, way more than just this one life, this one body on this one planet. We need to anchor more and more God into this reality. Remember more and more and more of who we are and why we're here. Like I said, for thousands of years, we have been living in a very mind-identified society. This mind-identified society is where the masculine energy has been very dominant, like very out of balance. And this out of balance masculine energy can be seen having manifested as wars and violence and abuse and rape and plunder and desecration and disrespect and a lot of separation and anxiety and a lot of ego. This is all an imbalance of energies collectively, also individually, but collectively as well. So the time that we are currently in, the feminine is rising. And it's rising not to dominate the masculine, if this is the masculine and this is the feminine. It's really to come into balance as one, in harmony, in unity. And feminine is not just female, masculine is not just male. Every individual possesses both masculine and feminine energies. And when we have our own individual energies in harmony within us, that harmony will automatically spill outside of our energetic fields into the collective. And feminine is more about heart, about intuition, wisdom, creativity, patience, gentleness, softness. And feminine out of balance can look like laziness, lethargy, unworthiness, hopelessness. So it's time for all of us to look inside, to take an inventory of how our energetic system is doing. Are we holding on to certain stories of the past? Are we holding on to certain fears and anxieties that were conditioned into us by the society, by our family? Are there areas where we are too identified with a certain role for ourselves? We are too identified with the ego, like this is who I am and that's that, and there's no more to it. Like I can't change my personality is fixed. Or I am a woman and I cannot do this. Or I'm a man and a man can only be seen doing this. Like these are all stories created by the mind. They have no, like, they're not set in stone. When you spend some time, do it regularly, just contemplating on the nature of this reality. Like, who are you? Who is my soul? Is my soul just this body, or is she more than this? If she's more than that, then what is that more? Is there any separation among souls? Do they bicker and fight? Or do they live in harmony because they realize, they know that they are reflections of one another, because they were generated, they were created from one source, and they're not separate from that one source. If this sounds like your journey, then welcome. I am here to encourage you, support myself. And let's see, I am super excited for this moment. I'm super excited to be recording this, and I'm super excited to be sharing this and for the future, because I am going to say it again, because this is a very, very exciting time in the history of humanity. It's a very, very exciting time on planet Earth, and all we need to really do is have an open mind and an open heart. I think that's it. I'm going to end this here. Hope that was illuminating. I'll be back soon with more of my thoughts and my reflections and my contemplations and my epiphanies. Until that time, adios muchachas. Bye bye.